Hey folks, in this week's episode, we are stepping back into Mother Nature, talking about some cures and some remedies, and let's boost that immunity system. You have come to the right place, and we're going to share some coffee together. Hey, thank y'all for stopping by camp on a beautiful day it is, and we just want to tell you, we're so glad you be here with us, and we just so proud that you're letting us in your living room, your phone, whatever you got going on. We are so proud. And you know, today, folks, there's a lot of things going on. There is, and we need to talk about defense. Best defense we can have against all this stuff is a great offense. I got that when I was in the 7th grade playing football. We still got beat 63-0. We did. But folks, we're going to go back down the old trail with Cookie, and we're going to talk about some of the cures, some of the remedies that he used to keep that immune system going, but hey, just to make you feel better and laugh. A lot of these are natural, and that's what we're after, folks. No waiting in line at the pharmacy, and you ain't supposed to even get out of the house, but you don't have to have an insurance card for these. I'm going to let you have them for free. Breaking news, folks. A little disclaimer here. I do not have a medical license. These are all things that I were brought up with when I was little that helped me get cured. But also, a lot of them was found in Farmer's Almanac. A lot of them my folks said they used during the Dust Bowl and the Depression. This stuff works. I wouldn't be using it if it wasn't. Well, you know we've been telling you about this new book that come out March 17th, and some of you may have our first one, A Taste of Cowboy, that come out 5 years ago. But folks, in here there is also something we put together that is called Cowboy Cures. Now, it's got a lot of things in there, from stomach aches to sunburn to even a broken tooth. But folks, this stuff might even help you get by in a time of need. So if you got this one, you might even overlook that page. But check it out. If you don't, hey, we can fix you up. You know, back in the 1870s, after the Civil War, there was a great expansion of people that took place to spread west and north. And also, there was a great bunch of longhorn cattle that was running wild and free. Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, New Mexico, parts of Oklahoma. And folks were needing some beef. So let's gather up 12 to 15 of them cowboys that's down there around San Antonio, and let's go gather up about 2,500 head of these longhorns. And what are we going to do? We're going to push them north. Go to a trailhead in Abilene, Kansas. Put them on a rail car. We can ship them anywhere. But hey, we need somebody that's going to come along and feed these cowboys. Who's it going to be? That's Old Cookie. That's what they called him, the Cusinero, Old Cookie. He had that first chuck wagon. You remember, Meals on Wheels. He's the man that got it done. But not only was he a cook, folks, he was a doctor, he was a dentist, he was a barbershop, a philosopher. He did it all. That's what Old Cookie had to do to get down the trail and to make it. You know, times have changed, but our methods really that me and Shan use today have not changed all that much. Sure, we don't have to push cattle from San Antonio to somewhere in Kansas to get on a railhead, but sure, we have been on ranches that's nearly 300,000 acres big, and that's a lot of country, 70 miles from the nearest town, and there ain't a doctor in sight. So we have to learn to do the same things that Old Cookie did going down the trail. And sure, I have been that doctor. I have been that dentist. I have cut a little hair, but just one time because they didn't like it after I got through with it. So let's talk about having to sew something up. Back in Cookie's day, he had a needle. He didn't have much thread. Guess what he used, folks? Horsehair, soaked in whiskey. It was an antiseptic. Run it through there, tie it in a square knot. Just keep it sewing. Now, I have done that, but I like to use a wax dental floss, but sometimes, too, I will soak that in maybe alcohol or just some good thread that you know is good and stout, run it through there. But now, Old Cookie, he didn't deaden it none, folks, unless he was just telling them to take a drink of this before he started. Me, we carry some lidocaine with us, and we do it right. So, talking about that dentist, hey, been there, done that. Had a young kid get kicked in the mouth by an old yearling, broke them 2 front teeth off nearly at the gum line. 8 degrees out there that morning. Cold air and a broke tooth, it don't feel too good. Ain't no dentist for 65 miles and they got work to do. So what did Old Cookie do? He capped it. JB whaled, mix them together, stir it up with a stick, paste it on there, let it dry. It'll seal it, keep that air from coming in there. Now, that kid was proud. He looked a little bad there at first, but he was proud to be able to go back to work. I did get a call from him about 6 weeks later, and the dentist said he wasn't too proud of my work. He couldn't get that stuff ground off. But he said, good fix and a tight. So remember, whatever you got, it might can work. So let's know that, hey, we got a first aid kit in every drawer. Well, folks, the first thing on every morning when I get up, and the last thing to come off that fire, what is it? Pot of coffee, old Bertha made. Now, coffee been around forever, and it will sure keep you going, it will. But did you know coffee had some great immunity boosting properties? Ooh, it does that for fact, folks. Now, I don't want you to go out there and drink 63 cups unless you want to be wired up and bounce off the apartment or something like that all day. I've had cowboys been out there in that dust all day, maybe allergic to some of that pollen, and they be coming in. Goes on forever and ever. And I say, hey, that cough is beginning to bother me. What about you? He'll say, oh, it's been bad, Ken. It has. I say, well, let me fix you a hot toddy. So first of all, what goes in it? A little raw honey. And folks, I'm talking about some good honey. If you can get it locally, it's even better. Now, I'm talking about that much. How much was that? That's the right amount's what it was. But let's also talk about putting some lemon in there. Now, I always carry lemon with me every time on a ranch because not only is it good to cook with at times, but also, folks, it is great in a toddy. So let's get about that much in there, and that was nearly a tablespoon it was. Guess what? Gotta have some bourbon. It's gonna help things better. So we're gonna pour about 1/4 of a cup in there, which is pretty close to that. And next, that magical elixir, black gold coffee. And I'm just gonna go ahead and fill it half full for me today because I'd like for it to be extra stout. So give it a good stirring, folks. So we got it all stirred up, but you might have missed some of that. But anything we be using and the recipes to put all this good doctor and stuff together with will be listed down there below. And you'll be thinking, hey, I just like to know how to make that coffee you do. Well, Shannon will have you a link up there to where you can see that too. But folks, just sip on it. That's heaven right there, folks.
What's it taste like? Is it a little stout or no? It's not bad.
Oh, it's just right. Coffee, lemon, honey, and a little bit of bourbon. You can't go wrong with that. But I'll tell you one thing for certain. The next night, every cowboy in camp was coughing. They was all wanting a toddy. Well, you got to ration that stuff out, sort of like the groceries they're doing to us now. So be careful when you make that first one. You might have to have some more. You got some of them coffee beans in the house? I mean, just ain't been ground, whole bean. Take you one of them. If you got some dark chocolate, get you a square of that, put it with it. It is a great antioxidant, immune booster it is. But hey, I got to tell you this, and I think you should come on in here. This might be a little embarrassing to some of you, but if you need it, folks, them coffee beans can be used as a laxative also. I'm just telling you that. I'm not saying it's happened, but I am just telling you that. Hey, see this little wonder drug right here? Garlic. More antibiotics than in most things you can get across the counter. Do you need a prescription? No, it's at your grocery store. Every time I go to a grocery store, I buy more garlic, folks. If you can get that organic kind, I think it is best. But I'm going to tell you something. It is a cure-all. We was on a ranch in New Mexico, 300,000 acres. Shan was out there. She's prone to get strep throat, she is. And I told her, you can't get it now. No, ain't no doctors. You're going to have to take a garlic clove. But you got to eat something first, folks. You can't do this on an empty stomach. Get you a garlic clove, eat it. I want you to do 3 times a day. Her strep throat was gone the next day, folks. This stuff has got so many great properties in it. And I just like to take one, get the skin off of it. You just mash it there just a little and it'll come right off a little easier. And I didn't mash it near hard enough, so I'm finna mash it again, I think. But folks, it is so good for you. Just take it out of there, peel that off of it. I like to have them with a cracker sometime. They are good in a lot of things. I'll put them with a piece of sausage of a morning. Me and Shan, we do one a day, just as a preventative measure to keep things good. But folks, if you're feeling like you got that sinus infection, you got a cough, you feel like you maybe got that strep throat, take you 3 of these a day. But folks, make sure you got something on your stomach and you eat it with a cracker because these little things can become hot. But I think we need to just go ahead and lay this jalapeno out there with it. You want to? Now, jalapenos is rich in vitamins A, B6, but this remedy right here has got me over many a sinus infection and many of a sore throat. Take that garlic clove. If you ain't got one of these mashers, chop it up good with a knife. I want you to just squeeze her down in there. Take your knife and just get all that goodness down in there. Then we're going to cut this much off that jalapeno. We're going to lay him in there too.
Seeds too?
Oh, makes things work faster and you got seeds in them. Woo. And that juice that goes down in there, folks, this is what you call a gourmet meal all in itself. And remember me telling you about this honey? Look where it says raw honey, 100% pure clover. Now folks, if you can buy honey in your area that you're living in, it will help you with your allergies that you're having in your surrounding area. And I want you to put enough honey in there that it's probably pretty close to a half a tablespoon.
I think that's more than that. I think it's a full tablespoon.
So we're going to put that honey in there, about a full tablespoon, for going to Shan's calculations. Look at that. That is goodness right there. You smear that on some toast. You can eat it that way. Put it on a biscuit. Give me a spoon up there, Shan. You.
I can't film and be sous chef.
A teaspoon of this once a day for preventative. If you're sick, folks, this stuff will break a fever.
Is it good?
It is so good.
Let me try it.
You sick?
No, but I've never had this. I mean, it smells good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not too bad.
No.
It's kind of like a pepper jelly.
So let's go on through that staples of stuff we might have in the house. And hey, sometimes you can even pick these in the wild. Know what they are? Mushroom. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't any of you go run out there in the backyard and pull a toadstool out of the ground. You remember that Jim Croce song? Take a trip and never leave the farm? Hey, you will be doing some of that. Stay away from them. Now, them old button mushrooms that you can find at the grocery store, them little baby portobellos, them things are really high in antioxidants. And did you know that a medical research was done and they even inhibit tumor growth? You got to get the most antioxidants out of them. And how do you do that? It's not by frying, not by boiling. The best method is to grill them, and they're still there. And them mushrooms are so good. Grilling, you say? Hey, I just happened to have a video where we have grilled a bunch of mushrooms, stuffed them. They were so good. There'll be a link up there to where you can watch it if you're a mind to. But now remember, old Cookie would have picked some of these up, probably them morale rushrooms. Ooh, them things is so good, folks, and they good for you. So don't forget to pick them up on your way by the grocery store. Well, folks, what we got here, as my friend Justin Wilson would say, an onion. They have got so many great healing properties to them, and they so good for you. Now, when I was little, my mother would take that knife, cut that onion in half, quarter it one more time, and sort of peel it out. And guess where she'd put it, folks? In a sock on your feet, and you would sleep with it at night. Some of you is out there laughing and say, "Whew, I bet your feet stunk the next morning." When you pulled that onion out of there the next morning, it was black. That onion will pull the toxins out of your body, I promise. Same thing with a bar of ivory soap, they say. I never used that, but I have used an onion. But it also makes a great poultice. Took that onion, mashed it up really good, put me a little garlic with it, slapped that on there, wrapped it up with a good cotton towel. It will draw that poison out. Them onions are a great thing. But say you got that dreaded sinus infection, that hacking cough that won't go away. You've been through 22 bottles of bourbon, 26 jalapenos, and 57 garlic cloves, and you still got it. Folks, I have a cure for you. You ain't got to wait in line. There ain't no insurance card. Take that onion, slice him in half, put him in a pot of water that is about that deep. Throw him in there. 2 garlic cloves. About, I'd say half a tablespoon of cinnamon. Let it boil till that onion is completely just fell apart in there, just soft as it can be. Let it cool for just a minute. Take that pot, set it right out there in front of you. Get a cup towel, put over your head. Breathe that in for about 15 minutes. Just take your time. Deep breaths, just relax. This is like going to the sauna, even better. That stuff just get in your system. It will help, folks. Well, folks, there's always been something that's always, too, been a staple at the wagon for a lot of bacon. But what is it? Arm & Hammer. Yes, baking soda. Hey, it's got a lot of great properties it does. Not only is it a great toothpaste, but also for heartburn, folks. But I'll guarantee you, too, come on back in here. I got to whisper this to you. Some of you might be having a problem since you didn't do the coffee bean. Also works as a laxative. I just wanted to let you know, okay? So, I hope you've enjoyed some of these cures, but a thing that is out there that is like the price of gold now, can't even find it most places, hand sanitizer. There was an old man on a ranch told me one time, people was talking about this many years ago. He said, drink more vodka. It's 70% alcohol. That's what's in hand sanitizer. Folks, I ain't telling you that, but let's make our own. See this here? Rubbing alcohol. 70%. That's what it needs to be, folks. And this is with a wintergreen, fresh smell. Now, if you can't find this, if you got any of them essential oils, you can make your scent whatever color you want and just pour you a little in there. Don't take much, couple of drops, you'll be fixed up. So I like to take the alcohol portion and I like to do a half and a half. Now you can see that's pretty close. Now, when I was little, my mother used mineral oil, and I am using olive oil today. And folks, it's good for your hands, but also it'll cleanse you. Make sure that you're going half and half. Now all we got to do is put our little deal back on there, give it a good shaking, and look, ain't that a pretty color? And look here, it don't take much. It smells so good, but you can see how that oil is shining. You just got to rub a little longer because alcohol does what really quick? Dries. So just make sure you rub that oil in, good for your hands. Well, I'm going to tell you for sure, there is a supplement that you need to get in your body every chance you get the time. Now, you can go down to the drugstore and get it, but why would you? It's right up there. See it? It's called Sunshine. Sunshine make me happy. What is it? Vitamin D. If you get a chance, go out there and get you a handful of that wet dirt and just smell of it. There ain't nothing like turning Mother Earth over and just getting you a handful of dirt. It is good for you. So be sure and use your best judgment on all these cures we give you. And if you need to go to the doctor, hey, I ain't keeping you from it. But if you think you might be thinking this stuff is right for you, you probably got it all in the house. Try it, folks. I think you'll be surprised. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed some of this old-time remedies and medicine, immune boosters, whatever it is you want to call it. Hey, it's all good. Now, I know we all in this quarantine together. But, folks, being together and the whole thing together just makes people stronger. When you can just join in there, we all going to get through it. We are. Now, as always, I tip my hat to our servicemen and women and all the veterans who are keeping this country safe. But, folks, also, we are thanking all them folks who are in the doctoring business. The people in the ERs, the hospitals, the nurses, the doctors, the people who are doing the drive-through checkups when you go through there and they can give you a test for that coronavirus. Hey, they are all putting it on the line. And sure, we're all quarantined. That is where we need to be, yes, because them folks out there are putting it on the line for us every day. And if this is a way that we can help beat all this, hey, I'm all for it, folks. Keep your chin up, let's get it done, stay together. We are family and we are blessed. And just because I love y'all and we ain't even eat no food, I'm gonna give you a little happy dance. It's called I'm So Happy. Whew! Love y'all a bunch. God bless you each and every one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. I don't know subliminal. You need to keep that in there, Andy. I don't know subliminal. Subliminal. Wherever you're, oh my God.
Don't scratch your eyes.
It's hot on your nose. Whoa.